Hi, how are y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing well. Not too much on my wig, okay? Not too much on my wig. I'm still really tan from the beach, and my makeup still doesn't match the tan that I got from the beach. So, not too much on my wig, okay, y'all? I figured I'd do a later live stream today to give the afternoon girlies some love, the 9 to 5 girlies some love, or gentlemen, if you're a man that follows my channel. That way, y'all could catch me maybe when you're getting off work and you can listen to me, uh, I don't know, in the car or on your walk, or I don't know. So I figured I'd do a little bit later of a live stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out everything in my link tree. Check out the lovely ladies over at Glow Melanin. That's my skincare plug. Lola, I haven't seen you in so long. I've been stalking your page and I haven't seen you here in so long. I literally been stalking your page. I'm like, did Lola unsubscribe from me? I literally was thinking that. Um, but yeah, follow the melanated ladies over at Glow Melanin. I have their website in my link tree. You can use the code Queen15, get you some money off. That way you can get your skincare together. Also, check out my girl Lola. She has really good like sprinkle-s content talking about like provider men, how to be able to manipulate men. She used to also be a dancer as well. So but yeah, Glow Melanin, that's where you can check out if you need some skincare. They have great skincare. You can check them out. Also, any self-pleasure toys. You also could check out Womanizer. You can use code AFF-Queen. All the codes are already in the link tree, so you don't even have to memorize anything. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to have no man give me BV and, knock off my pH and potentially get me pregnant. And then if I get pregnant in a state where I have an issue and then I can't, no, yeah, to me, that's safer. And then I have the spiritual channel and then the Patreon if you're interested in that. Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and get right into it, okay? I've already known for this to be common knowledge, but women do not really understand this. I know boys are taught this. Men are taught this at a very young age from like either other boys or their father or their uncle. When boys are taught about relationships young, they're taught about relationships in the form of a game. Okay. They're taught about relationships in regards to rules. They're not taught about relationships in regards to like finding true love, finding a partner, finding a mate. They're not taught that at all. And so this is why once you're like in a relationship, this is why a lot of women, like when they hear women talk about like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. And women are like, but I don't want to play all these games. You know what I mean? In order for you to be in a relationship, you're going to have to play games. Like if you at least want a favorable outcome out of the situation, you're going to have to play games. Like that's just the harsh reality because men, most of the time, they're in it for a game and they're in it to win a game. And this is for several reasons, okay? Anybody that's read the book Why Men Love Bitches, although that book is very pick me ish, in my opinion, is very pick me ish. And also, Lola, I'm glad that you're getting healthy again. And I'm sorry that you were, having all that happen, but also with like surgery, and I know you were getting like procedures and stuff like that. That's like a very vulnerable time for people to like fall back into addictions and things like that. So I'm glad that you're here. And I'm happy that you're healing, and I'm happy that you're doing better and continuing on your journey of healing and getting better. Okay, sorry. I just had to put that out there. Okay. So the book Why Men Love Bitches, as much as that book is like very pick me-ish, you actually can apply that logic to how men think because in the book she talks about how their hormone releases, it makes them be like reward driven essentially. And so this is why men look at relationships like a game, because women, when it comes to relationships, women are connection driven. Women are looking for a connection. Women are looking for someone that they're matching with. Men are not looking for that. Men will say that they're looking for that, but entirely that's not what they care about. Men are reward driven. So men essentially, a lot of them, they're trying to pursue a relationship for points. So men have like a tally in their brain of like points that they can acquire in regards to women. So like the first thing that they want to cross off the list and add a point to is obviously getting sex from a woman. That's like the first thing. Okay, cool. I got sex from a woman. Then they want attention from a woman. Okay, I got that from a woman. Then they want validation from a woman. Okay, I got that from a woman. Then I need to make sure that she's very like sacrificial. Okay, I got that from a woman. In a man's brain, they have like a list. Queen, that book has nothing on the book. Oh, yeah, I know about hoe tactics, but, um, just let me land my plane, okay, y'all. Um, like, having a very attractive woman, like, those are points that men are trying to acquire. So, essentially, like, the way that men look at relationships, like, it's a game of points that they need to acquire to make themselves feel good about themselves. And so this is why they say like men love the chase. Yeah, it's because it's a reward system that validates their existence. They're not thinking about they're not thinking about all of that these other things that women are talking about with like finding love and finding a connection and stuff like that. They don't care. Men are just simply seeking out what they can get and then tallying up in their brain, okay, how hard do I have to work in order for me to get what reward it is that I'm looking for? And if they perceive it to be too hard, then they're going to retreat. And then the thing about it is that if it's too easy, so this is another thing. This is where the whole don't be easy rhetoric comes into effect. Okay, the reason why men don't want you easy is because if the shoe were on the other foot, men know what they're doing. Like men know who they are as people. They wouldn't sleep with them that fast. They wouldn't sleep if the shoe was on the other foot. They wouldn't sleep with them that fast because men are very aware of what they're doing, and men know that they know that they know the nasty shit that they do and they say and how they act. They know that they're scummy people. Okay, they're very very aware of the fact. So when you give it up too easy, they don't understand what's wrong with you. Honestly, they think that you have a mental illness. When you give it up too easy, men legitimately think that you have a mental illness because in their brain they're thinking, okay, why would she want to like risk her body, risk becoming pregnant to sleep with a man? This is why the pick me's don't get picked, because why do you want to get picked by a man? Like even men question that shit because they know who they are as people, right? So this is why they are always saying like they want a challenge, because they want you to see them as a bad person, because what their whole MO is that they want to rewrite the story that you're telling yourself about men. So this is why you'll have men, like I'll have men in my comments or whatever, and they'll be like, yeah, but I'm not like that. Like if you were my girl, I would give you XYZ and yada 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 yada. Yeah, they're trying to rewrite the story of like how I view men, so that way, because it's a challenge to them. It's another thing that they can conquer. They can't conquer a woman who's already obsessed with men. That's no fun. It's a game to them being able to get a woman that like really just isn't all of that interested. This is why they're constantly also like they're going to constantly try to push back. They're going to constantly try to freaking push back when you reject them, because it's a reward. They want to get the reward of you saying, okay, yes, I'll give you my number. Yes, I'll let you take me out. This is why, like, especially in the older generation, when they talk about like how they met a woman, they always like to say, like, oh, I broke her down. Like, I mean, I finally wore her out and wore her down in order for her to allow me to take her out and for her to go on ahead and give me a chance or whatever. It's a game. Okay. Another thing too, I guess I'll explain that a little bit later. So another thing too is that when women have conversations with men, women tend to want to have a conversation with men from a point of understanding. Women see men as human people. And so women want to typically understand men for who they are. So like based off of like their past life experiences, the relationships that they have with other people. Women are genuinely typically more curious about those type of things because women tend to value understanding another person on a deeper level, on a visceral level. Men are not doing that. I've talked about this several times, but whenever men are like asking you questions and whenever you're having a conversation with men and you're just talking and talking and talking, they're not listening to you to understand you. They're gaining information so that way they could figure out how they can win this game. Okay. Men are strategic. Okay. Most of what it is that they're doing in their daily life all the time, it's a strategy. Okay. Especially with women. This is why they have like pickup artistry. Pickup artistry is a strategy based in tactics that you can use in order to pick up women. That's why they call like having a high skill of manipulation in regards to women. That's why they call it having game, because these are strategies that men have in place to be able to have the upper hand when they are in relationships with women. So men like they tend to like love the chase because it makes them feel competent. Okay, it makes them feel like, okay, like I'm actually worthy. Like I actually can achieve good things. Like I actually can achieve a high level of success if I was able to like get this woman. This is the reason why there behind a man with the audacity was a woman that gave him a chance that was way too good for him. That's behind a lot of man's audacity because their strategy was really good. Their game was really good. And so this is why like you'll have men get upset at other men because you'll have a man and like he will check off all the boxes on paper. Like on paper, like, okay, he has a good job. On paper, like he makes a lot of money. He may not be too bad looking, but he has no game. So it's just kind of like, bleh, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't know how to talk. He doesn't know he doesn't have any charisma. He doesn't have any charm. Those are all things that men use as strategies. Okay. That's a practice. Don't ever sit here and believe that. Don't ever sit here and believe that men don't practice like their charm and their charisma, especially if they have a father that is very charming and charismatic. A lot of the time that just gets passed down through the fucking bloodline for a lot of them when they come from a line, especially if it's like they come from a long line of families and like they have multiple baby mamas and they've had like 3 wives and stuff like that. They pass it along their bloodline. But I would say most men, they have to practice their charm and they have to practice their charisma because it's an effective strategy in order for them to be able to get access to women. So this allows men to be put in a predicament where they're able to pull women that are way, way better than them. They're able to pull women that are out of their league. And so that's why men want to go for women that are out of their league because it makes them feel more competent, right? And so then this is why, like, you always hear like it, it's an older term. I don't think anyone like uses it now, but like, oh, he didn't call me back. I guess now it would be he didn't text me back, right? He ghosted me. So the whole ghosting thing, he already conquered you. He already like won this game in his brain. And so he's like, okay, I won the game already. What's the point of me needing to talk to her again? And meanwhile, you're feeling some type of way because you actually connected with him. You actually saw this as like a genuine connection and situation with a person. They're just trying to beat the level, right? Men literally see women and like different types of women as levels, like how they see like video games and how they play on video games. That's exactly how they see women. Like, okay, I dealt with this girl. Now there's a woman who I will perceive to be of a higher status of that woman. Okay, let me go on ahead and see if I can get to that woman. That's the reason why, like, once men, like, they get a job promotion or they switch a career, they end up earning more money. They like to swap out the woman that like helped build with them. They're quick to swap out that woman with a woman that they feel like matches the perceived status of where they're at, because now it's a new reward for them. It's a new level to the game for them. And so they're like, I don't want the girl that I was dating and I dated her and I was in high school. Like, I'm a part of a Fortune 500 company. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be banging the secretary that I work with, or like banging the paralegal. You know what I mean? I don't want to be banging the woman that I went to high school with, like, because they don't identify with that version of themselves anymore, because they look at how they're living life as a game. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm at this level. Oh, I got a promotion. Now I'm at the next level of the game. And so now everything else around them has to match that level of the game based off of how they identify themselves, right? Another thing too, a lot of men, this whole like gaming, this like gamification of a relationship, they disguise it as protection when really it's just the fact that men are territorial. Like, whenever they say that men are protectors, what they really mean is that they're territorial. Men can't be protectors. Like, this is a thing that never made sense to me, because women will be like, "Oh, men are supposed to protect." Okay, let's do the math on here. Most people got to go clock in at a job 9 to 5, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Is your husband coming to you? Is he coming with you to work? Are you picking up your husband or your boyfriend and throwing him in your back pocket, and then he's there to be able to protect you at work? Is he there to protect you when you got to park your car and you got to walk from your car to your place late at night? Is he going to be there when you're going to go see your girlfriends and you got to walk from your car to the establishment? Is he going to be there when you're at the bar, making sure that no one spikes your drinks when you're out there with the girls? Men are not around you enough, especially like in your most vulnerable moments, in order for them to be a protector. Like, these men are expecting you to go out alone and go get the groceries for the family. Where is the protection coming in? And then they will claim and they will say, like, oh yeah, well, what if we get a burglar? Yeah. So if the only time, so even men know that the only time that they can count as protection, the only time that they can count as protection is when you're living under the same roof as them. That's the only time that they're going to count as protection. That's it. That's all. And the thing about it is that there are measures that you could be able to take to like reduce your chances of that happening, whether there is a man living under the same roof as you or not. So that's not going to make a difference. And we've seen plenty of video footage of that not even being the truth. Like, you'll see the women being the ones grabbing the firearm. Like, literally, I had an ex-boyfriend and he made sure that I carried my firearm because I own a firearm. He didn't own a firearm. And so whenever we would go out, he'd be like, "You got your firearm on you, right?" Like, I was the protector. He's looking at me. He's looking at me to make sure that I have my firearm on me, to make sure I can lock and unload in case something fucking happens. Yeah, he was making sure that I was the one that had my firearm on me, to make sure I was gonna go pow, 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 pow. Yeah, yeah, he literally made sure. He was like, "You got your firearm on you, right?" I'm like, "Child, this is a joke. This is a joke, okay? No protector at all." And then would sit here and try to enhance the level of protection that he would give me. So, like, for instance, one time we got into an argument and I had my robe on. I went outside and I went for a walk. I just went around the corner real quick with my robe on, and he was like, I don't want you going out there with your robe on again. Like something could happen to you. Like people are out there seeing you with a robe on, and what are you freaking doing? And I'm supposed to be here to protect you because if something happens to you, then I have to call your mom and your dad. I have to explain to them what happened, and I would have to tell them that I let you go out and you had on your robe and and I'm just like, sir, you have to make sure that I have my firearm with you with us when we're going out. Okay? Like it yeah. Need I say anymore? Like, come on, sir. You're really trying to over here push the whole protector thing with me wearing a damn robe outside. Meanwhile, I'm the one with a firearm and you're making sure that I have it when we go out. Yeah. So it's a territorial thing that a lot of these men have where they're like, oh, that's my girl, my woman, like she's mine. A lot of men, they see it as a game because they see women as something to be captured. This is where the objectification comes from. The objectification of women comes from the fact that they don't see women as people. They see women as objects to be able to collect and then to be able to show off. And so that's their reward. The object is their reward. And so this is why a lot of men, it's not really a partnership that you're going to ever be in with them in a relationship. It's just going to him be like, oh yeah, look at this thing I acquired. Like, look at this like new resource that I have. You know what I mean? They don't look at it as a responsibility because they're just like, okay, like I won the game. You know what I mean? And then they also do this with children too. Most men don't really view children as humans either. I feel as though we don't talk enough about that. Men don't view children as humans. They also view children as like a level in the game for them to be able to win. And once again, it's a set of collectibles. It's a set of collectibles that they have to be able to display to everyone, like, oh, yay, like I was able to get a woman pregnant, like I was able to get a woman to push out babies, for me. And like they see children as resources too. I mean, this is why you have things like, PDFs, like they see children as a resource too. We all know that whole thing with how they use children with that. So it's very obvious that they don't see children as like people either. Another thing too, whenever you gamify something like how men do when they're in relationships, okay, games have rules and you can always manipulate rules and you can control the outcomes a lot of the time. So this is why you don't really have men show up when it comes to having like accountability, emotional depth, maturity, because you really can't use any of those things in a game. But being able to have rules and being able to have rules that you can manipulate to have things come out in your favor, that's something that they can do because that's how they view a relationship. So a lot of men will use like different manipulation tactics, right? And you see this in the media. Like all you have to do is just watch anything in the media where it's like a teenage demographic of the show. It's the archetype of the older brother and the younger brother. The younger brother, they always write the younger brother they cast him as like being a simp, right? They cast him as somebody that is like a nice guy, right? He treats women with respect. He sees women as people. He's a nice guy. And then he won't get anywhere. He won't get anywhere with the girl that he likes. And so then his older brother, he's the jock on the football team. He's the varsity captain of the football team. He has access to a lot of women. And so then the younger brother goes to the bigger brother and he's like, yeah, like I can't get Candace to talk to me. And like, I don't even know if Candace likes me or not. And so then what does the big brother do? The big brother is like, oh yeah, like just start ignoring her, bro. Like, you can't show her that you like her. Like, you got to start ignoring her and yada, yada, yada. And then the younger brother like tries to do it or whatever. And then the shit doesn't end up working because it's like, that's not who you are. Like, that's just not who you are. Like, you're actually like a nice guy and you're trying to like be somebody that you're really not. So they learn this. They end up picking up this like strategy and manipulation from another people. And the thing about it is that it's more common now because obviously people are making it out of creating content. Like, they have it as a niche of content on how you can use manipulation to be able to, be able to sleep with women or to be able to get resources from women, et cetera, et cetera. So, they do the whole pull away to make you chase. They'll withhold affection. They'll confuse you with mixed signals. They'll use jealousy to try to provoke you. They'll love bomb you and then disappear. None of those things are by accident. None of those things are by coincidence. Those are 1,000% strategies that men are using to have the scale tip the other way in their favor. And like I said before, all of the content for them to be able to learn these things, it's either a few clicks or a book away for them to be able to learn how to do these things. And a lot of men don't really care about using them for, but those are all things that are skills for anything. Those are skills for games, right? Another thing too, it's like based off of how males are socialized because vulnerability is like a really big thing because like this is why I don't really believe when men say like that they're taking accountability. Accountability, if you're actually being accountable for something, it's going to require vulnerability. So this is the reason why I don't give men credit for quote unquote holding themselves accountable, because all men count as accountability is just admitting the fact that they're wrong. They're never going to come from a place of vulnerability and actually tell you why they're doing what it is that they're doing. They're just going to acknowledge the fact that they did it. True accountability comes from a place of vulnerability, and men are socialized to evade having any source of vulnerability. And so boys are usually taught like, that you have to man up and like you can't be soft and that you need to like win. So this is the reason why you're hearing like a lot more women talk about how when they're meeting a guy and they're dating a guy and they realize like very early on, he's trying to keep score. Like, he's trying to keep score on like how much validation he's getting in comparison to how much validation she's getting. He's trying to be in competition in like pocket watch. He's in competition with her education level. He's in competition with the car that she drives or the home that she owns or the high rise that she lives in. It opens up a competition because they're seeing everything as a game. And so this is why things like, them opening up, they see opening up is losing the game. They see being vulnerable is losing the game. They see like them needing someone is losing the game. Caring too much, losing the game. You're not bonding with a person that sees vulnerability and emotional intelligence. Like, you're not bonding with that person when that's how they're looking at it. That's somebody that is just looking at a situation with a person and making a tally. Okay, how can I come on the winning side of this? How can I get myself in a predicament where I can be on the winning side? And so this is why I tell women all the time, like, women are always projecting their life experience as women onto men, and men do the same thing. But the thing about it is that that's the reason why men are putting you in these predicaments of like wanting you to be vulnerable, wanting you to open up, wanting you to be emotional, because it's an indicator that you're losing the game. That's why they're putting you in these predicaments. They want you to be vulnerable. They want you to open up. They want you to cry. They want you to do all these things because they're taught that doing those things makes you a loser. They want to see you care a lot because in their brain, they've been taught the person that cares the most, the person that cares the most loses the game. So they constantly need to get the reinforcement from you doing all these things that they've been taught is a sign of weakness to further prove to themselves that you're the one losing the game because you're not privy to this stuff. You're not privy to the fact that the game has been rigged and you don't know any of the rules. And so only one of you all is playing the game. So this is why like men, they don't want women that are nonchalant. They don't want women that are nonchalant. They want women kicking, screaming. When do you see men break up two women fighting over them? How often do you see two women fighting over a man and the man is going to break them up? Y- I've never seen it. I've never freaking seen it. They don't want to break it up. They don't want to do that because they are getting full satisfaction in the fact that they're the ones winning the game because they're seeing two women invest all invest all of that energy and invest all of that into this man, and she's willing to go toe to toe with another woman over him because that makes you weak. You lose the game whenever you fall into things like that. So the best thing that you could do is just be nonchalant and to not ever give like the emotions that come behind whatever it is that this man has like chosen to do to you because that's what he's looking for because he needs an indicator that you're the loser and he's the winner. Another thing too. Okay, so like another way that like you can kind of tell that relationships are kind of like a game to men when you threaten a man with like leaving and he like that's the only time that he wants to step up. Like you give the threat and you're like, hey, I'm actually going to end up breaking up with you because you're not doing XYZ, and then all of a sudden he starts doing XYZ. It's a game to him. Okay? It's a game to him. He's really not doing this stuff because he wants to keep you around. He's doing these things because he wants you to like keep investing more of this emotional energy into playing this game with him. So like this is why like and I feel like when women do this they're in the danger zone. Like when you have to threaten a man, if you threatened a man and you told him what you were going to do if he doesn't start doing XYZ, you're giving him the playbook. You're handing him the strategy needed to keep playing you. Because if he wants to keep you around, why would he not do what you're telling him to do? And if he's never done it before, or if you're constantly repeating yourself and he won't do it, men understand that you're going to get impressed by seeing him just do it, even if they only do it for a month, even if they only do it for 2 months. And then before you know it, 3 months go by and you're over here trying to remember the last time that he ended up cleaning up after himself because you didn't even realize that he quit cleaning up after himself a month ago. And so now you're back doing you're in the same cycle over and over and over. Like, no, it's just they're trying to keep you in this cycle of like playing this game and constantly allowing yourself to have time and energy and resources like be extracted from you, right? Another thing too, men don't have a core identity. This is the reason why like a lot of men are struggling right now. This is why a lot of men don't realize, like their grandfathers, their great grandfathers, there was propaganda pushed to their elders because they had to use that propaganda to get men to fight wars. So that's the reason why they had to tell men like You need to be strong, you need to be fit, you need to love your country, you need to be patriotic, because that was propaganda to make men feel more emboldened and to not second guess wanting to risk their lives to go to war. Currently, as it stands now, at least here in the United States, we don't need men to fight wars currently. So there is no propaganda needed for men to instill a sense of identity. So this is why men cling on politically to more left leaning, or they lean onto more conservative leaning politics. Sorry. They lean onto more conservative leaning politics because it's the only sense of identity that they have. And it's the only thing that they can feel as though they have like competition. Like it gives them a center of like competition when they cling on to like more of those like conservative politics, because automatically when they cling on to that, they know that their competitor automatically will be a woman, right? Because we don't live in a society where men are taught to compete with other men, because we live in a hierarchy. So they're taught, most men are in a society where they're taught to compete with women because it's easier. It's easier for them to dominate over another woman because men fear other men. Like, men fear other men. Once a man approaches a man and a man starts, asking him uncomfortable questions, demanding his number, demanding for them to continue on a walk, on a stroll, all of a sudden men get it. All of a sudden men understand, oh, these women actually aren't crazy. These men they actually can make you feel very uncomfortable. Yeah, men fear other men. So men are always bargain hunters. They're always going to go down the least path of resistance. And so a lot of men don't know who they are without competition. So when men are not taught that they should see men as their competition, they're going to seek out women so that way they can figure out where they stand in society. So this is the reason why a lot of men, like, they get upset when you're talking about your education. Oh, we don't care about your education. Yes, you do care about our education. Men do care about our education. The reason why they're saying that they don't care about our education, is because they're never going to sit here and admit the fact that they feel some type of way, because no matter what way you put it, society is going to view you different when you're someone that has a college degree versus someone that doesn't have a college degree, because we've been subconsciously programmed for so long to value a college degree over owning a business or over owning a trade, because it's been pushed. It's been propagated for so long that a college education is the most important thing to get. Although it's becoming more popularized for like college to be a scam, and the fact that it's highly expensive, and the fact that you can get into a trade or you can start your own business with social media, that's still really new. We haven't evolved past that to be commonplace. So everyone's subconscious is still very much programmed to put people that are college educated on a pedestal. Men are never going to admit that. Men are never going to admit the fact that they're still subconsciously programmed to put individuals that have a college degree on a pedestal. So of course they're going to say that they don't care about it. No, they do care about it. So this is why the insults and all of these things come after you talk about what you do for work, or anything in relation to status, because in their brain, like I said earlier, they're not trying to understand you or get to know you or build a connection with you. They're trying to keep tally of the score where they stand in society, because they're not used to competing with other men. Because you see, they never want to. Thank you for the super chat, Portia. I appreciate you. Men never want to compare themselves with Jeff Bezos. Men never want to compare themselves with Elon Musk. They want to take credit for what Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos is doing. But they never want to sit here and ask their CEO, they never want to sit here and ask their manager, what college level of education do they have? They never want to ask the people in power over them how much college they had to do, how many loans they had to take out. They only want to ask women that because, like I said before, Men want the easy way out. They don't want to have to compete with another man because most of them are too weak and a lot of them are too lazy to do so. They rather just try to compete with the woman. And the thing about it is that the gap is getting narrowed between the competition in place because within the small amount of time that we've had rights, women have home ownership. Women have a college education and degrees. Women are really, really garnering a high amount of like financial footing and success. And that's really, really bothering men because the competition is becoming non-existent. It's becoming non-existent for the competition because women are really and truly outpacing men. And women are also doing this like while they have children too. Like women are over here holding down entire households while they're in college. Like there are women out here going through divorces and getting full custody of their children while they're freaking in college and getting their degree. And so this is making men question like where they stand in society because men don't have an internal system on who they are as people. They don't. They have to constantly outsource the answers from society to tell them who they are. If society is not telling men who they are, men don't know who they are. They don't, because men don't have any source inside of them for them to reflect on their behavior and for them to find their own true identity. So this is why men are constantly saying, well, I'm a man. Well, I'm a man. Okay, you're a man. And so is like 51% of the population. That doesn't mean anything. How can I put value on something? How can I put value on something that you share with half of the population? The only thing that's making you a man is the phallus that's in between your legs. I can't do anything with that when there's a ton of other people that have the same thing. That's not worth anything, but it's the only thing that they have to grasp on because the male is all externally created. It's based upon external things. You can eradicate external things, your house, your car, your money, your yada yada yada. This is why they have an issue with beauty, because they're like, well, beauty fades. Well, beauty fades. Okay, and you can lose your job, and you can lose your car, and you can lose your house. Like, those things are all replaceable, but women could also get a facelift tomorrow. Women could also get on a surgery table tomorrow. So men get upset and they want to constantly remind women over the expiration date that their value carries, because men's value can be taken away quicker. You're not going to get, in most cases, you're not going to age you're not going to age from an 18-year-old into a 40-year-old overnight. But the stockbroker or the day trader that has $1 million in investments, he could lose all his shit overnight and then be a nobody and then be broke. And then that's when these men unalive themselves and go pew pew. The fall from grace is always going to be much quicker for men than it ever is going to be for women. That's the reason why, like, a lot of men, they cling on to these before and after pictures of like celebrities, like, how they do it with like Lisa Ray or like Vivica A. Fox. And, they take the pictures of them when they were in like their Vixen era. And then they take pictures before now, because men are so addicted to seeing women fall from grace because they're jealous over the fact how long we can milk it for. We can milk it for a really, really long time. And then with things like makeup, with things like surgery, hair extensions, we can really, really, really milk it, right? They don't get that privilege, even if they end up making a lot of money, because at some point, like, okay, you have to make enough money for that money to make you money. And then you have to be smart about that money. And then, like, there's no guarantee, because behind a lot of these men that are very successful, they're doing a lot of unethical things. Once those unethical things come to the spotlight and come to the forefront, they're going to lose money. Like, we already saw what happened with Elon Musk and with Tesla. He ended up losing a lot of money, with the backlash and everything with like the presidency and things like that. those are external things that can be taken very, very away quickly from men, and men can't stand that. That's why they get mad about things like marriage and things like that, because they understand how quickly resources can be taken away from them, because the whole being of a man is based off of external things. Anything rooted in anything external is weak. Anything rooted in external, it can be demolished. So this is why men have like very like frail and fragile egos, because their egos are made of glass. Glass can shatter. This is why you have men that are crying over a girl that rejected him, the first girl that ever rejected him in 6th grade, because he's put his ego back together, but that ego that shattered in 6th grade, it got smashed into a million pieces. And so he has slowly tried to re-glue his ego back in time, but once something shatters into a million pieces, it's never going to be the same again. So this is why you have like a lot of men, like they can have a lot of resentment towards women over something that happened a long time ago, because that's how fragile their ego is. And so when it comes to this whole game system that they have in their brain, that's where like this revenge type of thing comes from, because now they want to win this game in their head of like getting back at women, because they ended up getting rejected so many times. They ended up having their ego get shattered so many times. And so now they're on this mission. They've created this game in their head of, oh, well, I'm going to give a ton of women permanent STDs. I'm going to go knock up a ton of women, and I'm going to make them fall in love with me, and, make them seem like I'm this good, upstanding guy. And then I'm going to knock her up and have her struggle, or I'm going to, cheat on her with her best friend. Like, that's why I said, like, even on that video, like, cheating is a part of the game. Like, I do not believe that men cheat. Like, I don't believe that men are bad cheaters. You know how they say that, like, oh, men are really bad at cheating, and like they don't care about. Okay, men unalive people and get bleach and wash the clothes, and they do anything possible to try to hide the crime scene. So if men are willing to go that far to hide a whole crime scene because they don't want to get caught, you can't sit here and tell me that when men are cheating, they're sloppy when it comes to cheating. It's not that they're sloppy when it comes to cheating. They're cheating and they're purposely not covering their tracks because they want you to know that they're cheating on you, because that's a part of the game. The only time that you can use the term cheating is in regards to a game. There is no other way in which the term cheating is applicable to anything else in life, unless you're talking about a game. Because the whole purpose of these men cheating is to win this game of getting you emotionally invested and then letting you down. Like, men get off on that. I know it's super sick and it's super sinister. Men get off on that because in their brain, they're winning the game. Because like I said before, they deem emotions as weak. They deem vulnerability as weak. They view all of the reactions that you'll have in response to cheating as weak. So when they do the thing and they know, like, oh yeah, she's weak as hell, she's crying and she's this and she's that, they know they've won the game. And then this is why they're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, because you keep on feeding them the emotions that they want to see, that's reinforcing that they're winning this game, they're doing everything right, they're going to keep doing it over and over and over. Like, women really do underestimate how men don't really like women. You know what I mean? Like, and how they're pretty much taught to not like women. And this is the reason why, like, I don't have any pity when y'all are getting cheated on. I don't be having no pity when y'all are getting cheated on, because a lot of the time the women just stay and then think the man's going to stop cheating. The man's never going to stop cheating. Why would he stop? If someone let me get away with cheating, I always use the job analogy. If someone's letting me come to a job and I get to come to work late, I get to do whatever the fuck I want, my boss lets me do whatever the fuck I want, I'm not going to wake up one day and decide that I'm going to come to work on time. I'm not going to wake up one day and decide that, oh yeah, let me start getting my act together, and I'm still getting a paycheck. I'm still over here getting a fucking paycheck. Why would I stop? Why would I improve my behavior when I'm still getting rewarded for piss poor behavior? That makes no sense. If a person is given the space to be comfortable in a situation, they're not going to change on their own just because you gave them a chance. No, you're just going to be able to be having the like behavior be fueled. So this is why I don't understand why the women that care about cheating, you know what I mean? I know that there are women who genuinely don't care about cheating. Um, but the women that do care about cheating, if you and when you allow it, there is no incentive to change. So why would the man stop cheating on you? To me, that's dumb as hell. If you're allowing me to do something scotch free and I don't have to have any accountability, why would I change? I know I'm not. I'm not changing shit when you're going to still reward my bad behavior. That don't even make sense. When you really sit down and think about it, that don't really make sense, honestly. Um Another thing too, which I already kind of talked about, like men care a lot about their ego. So like men don't genuinely care about the intimacy that they have in a relationship with a woman. Men's ego is going to constantly have them reinforcing how they can have control in a situation with a woman. That's just it. That's just going to be what it is. So this is why, like, and we've talked about this before, you're going to have constant situations with men where you do something and y'all are together early on. You think that that thing is okay. And then all of a sudden it's not okay. All of a sudden he doesn't want you to dress a certain way or wear makeup or have your hair done a certain way, et cetera, et cetera. Men are always having to make sure that they're testing their ego to make sure that they are playing this game to reinforce the fact that they're the one that is in control. They are the one that is, like essentially running the show. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, too, the whole thing with like love. Okay. The whole thing with like love. Um, Men want the feeling of love, like well, I think everyone wants the feeling of love, okay? Everyone wants the feeling of love, but the thing about it is that, like, that is going to require work, okay? And, like, the thing about it is that in my humble opinion, I feel like love requires more work from man to woman than it does woman to man. This is why there are a lot of people that say that if you are in a relationship with a man, the man has to love you more. The reason why they say that is because that will require more work for a man to love a woman. That's the reason why women can give birth. Women are able to be the ones to give birth because we're born with an inherent amount of love to be able to give to another person. Men aren't. That's why men can't give birth. Men don't have the source large enough of love to be able for them to grow a child in their body. So so the thing about it is that, like, of course, like the desirability, being chased, being admired, being prioritized. Of course, men want those things. Everyone wants those things, right? Everybody wants those things. Um, but things like communicating, self-reflection, growth, accountability, those are the things that men have to work like super, super hard at to put themselves in a predicament to show that they love you more. Because it requires more work for a man to display his love. And most of them are not going to ever be willing to do the work to be able to do that. It's too much work for them and they don't want to do it and they don't see the point in doing it. So they don't see the value in doing it. Okay. Another thing too is that, like I stated earlier, there's like a victory mindset, right? And so men care more about getting you instead of keeping you. And so this is why I always laugh when men like they always want to give these comparisons of like cars. They want to compare women to vehicles. Oh, well, why would I buy a beat up Honda when I could get a BMW or a Mercedes? You can rent a Mercedes. You can rent a Mercedes, but can you buy a brand new Mercedes and be able to pay the car note and pay for the insurance and pay for the maintenance? Can you afford to keep the BMW that you want? Can you afford to keep the Mercedes that you want? No. Most men will complain about the beat up Honda, but that's all that's in your budget. That's all you can keep. You can only get the fucking Mercedes if you rent it for a couple nights. You can't keep the caliber of woman that you feel that you're entitled to. You cannot maintain her. So essentially, it's one of those things where they they have this mindset where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to be able to get you, and then I've won everything, and then I can't do what's required to be able to keep you. This is the reason why I laugh so hard when men are like, oh, you can't, like they will tell women that we can't keep a man. If women can't keep a man, then why are women divorcing men 70% of the time? The statistics would show that a man can't keep a woman. If men are getting divorced from 70% of the time, that means that men are the ones that can't keep a woman because the men are the ones that are getting left. So it's clearly the men. Why do y'all only have a success rate of keeping a woman 30% of the time? You're not making it through elementary school, middle school, high school, or college with a passing grade of 30%. You're not keeping a job with a pass rate of 30% satisfactory level. You're not keeping shit in your life when you can only perform good 30% of the time. It's the men that are having a problem keeping the woman. And then they will sit here and try to reverse the narrative and try to say that this is the reason why women can't keep a man, and then try to shame women for wanting to leave a relationship. People, not even man or woman, people don't leave situations that benefit them. People do not leave situations where they are happy. You are not going to find a person with a high earning job, a schedule that they love, coworkers that are amazing, and a boss that they get along with. You're not going to see that person quit that job. That you're not going to fucking see that because everything is favorable. That's the first law of fucking human nature. No person is ever going to leave a circumstance that is highly beneficial to them because men are the ones that are benefiting in the marriage. This is why they're the ones that are not leaving. They're the ones that are not leading. They don't have to search for coochie anymore. They got in-house coochie. They got somebody that's cooking and cleaning for them. They got someone that's raising the children. They have someone doing everything for them. So that's the reason why they're not going to leave. They're not going to leave because they're the ones that are gaining the benefit, because people do not leave situations in which they are highly benefiting from. They're not going to. They want to try to shame women as the quote unquote bad guy because women are choosing to leave situations that are unfavorable to them. That's what any normal person would do. And that's the thing. Men will never leave. If they get tired of their wife, they'll just go cheat because they still are getting benefits. They're still getting benefits. And even more so, they're going to get more benefits by not leaving. They're going to get even more benefits by not leaving and cheating, because guess what? They no longer have to deal with their wife. They no longer have to deal with not being attracted to her. They can have all the excitement of dealing with a woman that they're attracted to. They can deal with the excitement of dealing with a woman that doesn't have to see him for who he really is 24/7, 365. So it's one of those things where the men are not going to leave because they're getting more benefits by staying in the relationship. All men have to do is cheat. This is why I don't give men credit for saying, when men are like, oh yeah, I've been married for 25 years and I've been married for 30 years. You've been married that long because you wanted to be there and you were able to do things to alleviate yourself from dealing with the severity of you being in an unhappy marriage. Women typically don't get that option. Women typically don't get that luxury because women are typically the ones that are having to do most of the labor, and they have to pretty much put up with all of the BS. So at the end of the day, like, no, it's never going to be a flex where someone is saying that they have been married that long. Like, okay, being able to have safeguards that are keeping you in a marriage that you're unhappy with, of course, you would have no reason to leave when you're having somebody else get you through the relationship that you don't like as a way to avoid what's going on back home. Point blank, period. Exactly. We call that having your cake and eat it too. We call that the same thing here in the US. Very few women have the time, energy, or motivation for that same behavior, especially if they are caregiving and or bringing kids up. Exactly. When are women going to find the time to cheat when men are expecting you to go work a full-time job, split 50-50, cook and clean, have children, and then be the main caretaker? Women aren't even going to have enough time to cheat it to begin with. Women aren't even going to have the energy to do that. Men treat everything as a game because men are competitive and men want to compete with people that they know that they could win against. Men rarely want to compete against people that they feel as though they may have a chance of losing against. Men know the hierarchy, and men understand that they have a much easier chance competing against a woman than they would ever have competing against another man, because that's an actual challenge and men are fearful of other men. You don't see men rushing to go to jail. You don't see men lining up talking about how they want to go to prison and how they want to go to jail. They don't want to live in a society where there are other men. You think men would be happy if women all ceased to exist? As much as men hate us, do you really think that men would want to live in an environment where they're only living with other men? Hell no, because men know what men would do. Men know that they would be the next victim. Men know that their booty holes would be gaping with no consent and no lube. They know that. So it's like, I'm getting ads in the middle of this live and it's annoying. Girl, you better update to premium. You better update to premium. That way you don't have to worry about no ads, girl. But yeah, men wouldn't want to live in that reality. They wouldn't want to live in that reality. They're not trying to have their booty holes busted open. They're not. Hmm. Thank you. So YouTube also, it's the back half of the live stream. If y'all have been in the live streams long enough, y'all know that after the first hour, I usually talk more in the chat. It is kind of like a free for all with what I start talking about. So we're in hour 2 of the live stream. So we're gonna talk about whatever it is that I decide to talk about or whatever it is y'all put in the chat. Um I didn't post the video here on YouTube, but I did post a video onto TikTok. Um, I kind of already talked about it on here. I already talked about it on here, but I have a firm belief that like a strong level of misogyny makes men be homosexual. Um, it does. I'm sorry, you can't talk about how much you hate women and then decide that you still want to be with women. Like, that's just weird to me. Like when men are talking about like, I don't want a woman that wears makeup. I don't want a woman that does this. So y'all gonna stop dating men? Yes. I broke up with my last ex and I haven't been on a date since. Like, men will never live in a reality where they would actually think of how their life would look if they never dated a woman again. Like, they can't imagine that. So this is why it sounds crazy to them when they're like, "Women aren't dating any men." I can't speak for everyone, but for what? I list the pros of dealing with a man and dating a man. Like, it just, as Kevin Samuel said, it's average at best. It's average at best. Yeah, write in the chat if y'all are right. Let us know in the chat if y'all are not dating or if y'all are not interested in dating again. Please chat it up in chat. Let us know if in this current climate dating seems like something that you want to do. But yeah, misogyny definitely makes these men be more attracted to other men because they're bonding over not liking women. So it's like if you're bonding over not liking women, that's going to naturally turn you gay. My last D appointment guy asked me why us women go celibate. Like he genuinely wanted to know what's the point. Like, sure, because you men F on everyone. Yeah, and this is what I don't understand about men. Like, this is how you know men are not intellectually solid. They're not. You're a man, you can't give birth. Testosterone is your main hormone. Like, men don't know anything about their own bodies or their own biology because they don't have to worry about pregnancy and they don't have to worry about bleeding. So men don't know what the fuck is going on in their own body aside from the fact that they can fucking ski. That's all they know about themselves. Testosterone is the hormone that is going to fuel your fucking sex drive. Women do not have a fraction of the amount of testosterone that men have. Women don't want to fuck as much as men because we don't have as much testosterone. So it's never going to be a time where you're going to get a woman and she is going to want it every single time that you fucking want it. That is impossible. Number 2, the orgasm gap. Women's main pleasure center is on the outside, and men are constantly wanting to put their dick inside of a hole. The orgasm gap has it where women are getting off 30% of the time. Once again, men have low success rates. They have low success rates with keeping a woman, and they have low success rates with being able to sexually please a woman. This is the reason why sex toys were created. Men sucked so bad. Men sucked so bad in the bedroom. They had to create a diagnosis for women that weren't having an orgasm regularly by calling it hysteria. And so essentially women would go to the doctor and diagnose themselves with hysteria. That way the doctor would use their fingers to penetrate them. That way they would be able to get an orgasm because the men that they were sleeping with weren't able to do it. If I have a chance of getting pregnant, a chance of getting an STD, and a chance of not getting off, why would I not want to be celibate? Those are terrible odds. Men don't have to worry about being pregnant. They have testosterone that constantly makes them want to have sex. Men don't care if they get STDs, and men are always going to get off every single time. There is no incentive. There really is no high incentive for a woman to be sleeping with a man. It's not. So that's why they don't understand, why would you be celibate? Yeah, I probably wouldn't be celibate either if I didn't have to worry about getting pregnant. I wouldn't be thinking about being celibate if I knew for a fact that I was gonna get off every time. Oh, and another thing too, I wouldn't care about being celibate if I was the gender, if I was the gender that gets to sleep with people that are more fucking attractive. Women overall are more attractive than men are. Like you actually got to be attracted to somebody in order to want to sleep with them. That's another thing that that's the other thing that men are not thinking about. It's not that many men out here that are super attractive that anybody will want to sleep with them. Exactly. These men are done in 2 minutes. These men are done in 2 minutes, and you don't know if you're getting a fucking shrimp or an anaconda. You don't know if your walls are gonna be stretched from north, south, east, west, or if you're not gonna be able to feel anything. Mhm. Like, my god. Yes. If men were the fly on the wall, their egos would be shattered to hear how women talk about men when it comes to their bedroom performance. Like like female hip hop is written by men. Most of like the ghostwriters are men. So men don't even realize that like the rap artists that are talking about like, oh yeah, like Cardi B and like they're talking about like how good sleeping with men are. Yeah, it's men writing that to keep the egos protected of men because men actually think that they're in bed. Having a true conversation with a group of women, the story is not what you're hearing in the rap songs. The story is not what you're hearing. It's just men are so sensitive. Men are so sensitive that you can't tell them that type of stuff because men external value is so fragile. It's so fragile. Men are going to cry. Men are going to cry if you say that their pee-pee's too small. Men are gonna punch a wall if you tell them that they don't last long enough in bed, and they might punch you next depending on what type of man you're talking to. Being honest with men is dangerous for women because some of these men don't know how to take rejection and they take it very personal. Men are very, very sensitive to that type of discussion. So this is why women are just like, you want to know what? Forget it. I'll just let him think he killing it. I'll just tell him what it is that he needs to know. That way it won't be no problems. Like it's fine. Don't even worry about it. And it's like when you're celibate, you don't have to worry about those things. When you're celibate, you don't have to worry about in having those problems anymore. Like, nope, it's fine. I just won't sleep with nobody. Don't have to worry about any of those things. It's fine. Like I'm hollering a pincushion to masturbate with. Yes. I'm like, "Oh my god, they're doing the hokey pokey in your coochie." Like, "Oh my god." "Oh my god, I hate when they ask how many times you came." Lie. "Yep, you always lie." I be cracking up. Then men are like, "Yeah, I made her come 9 times." I'm like, "With the thing in between your legs?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I know her ass was lying." The only person I believe the only person I believe that tells me that they came that many times was a lesbian. That's the only person that I believe that's like, "Yeah, I ended up coming like 9 times," is if she's a lesbian. If a woman did it, you feel that? And you gotta sit here and be like, "Yeah, oh my god, you're filling me up." And inside, I'm just cracking up. Like, inside, I'm cracking up because I'm like, "Wow, this is like this is straight up acting." And the thing about it is that men watch so much porn, they're used to seeing women faking it anyway, so they can't tell the difference. They can't even tell the difference between your acting because they're on their phone every night watching an actress. So they don't even know the difference because they're seeing somebody fake it anyway. So it's not like they're going to be able to tell that you're faking it. And the thing about it is that men, like, even if we were all lesbians, then what? Y'all would just sit there and watch. Like, once again, men don't think. Like, men have a very small lens that they can only project what they're fearful of onto women. Women aren't afraid of being called gay. It's men that are afraid of being called gay. So, like, okay, I'm gay. If I were to sit here and say that I'm gay and like I lick pussy, then what? Then what's gonna happen? The world's gonna end? Like, no. Like, men are constantly projecting what they're fearful of onto women. Women don't care about being called gay. That's men that care about that. Men are the ones that are like, I don't want anyone to think I'm gay. No homo, no homo. Like men have a laundry list of terms that they have to use to enforce the fact that they're not gay. Women don't have any. You don't hear women saying no homo. You have women over here saying I'm no better than a man. That literally lets you know that women don't have any fear around being gay. They literally don't care. It's not a fear of women to either be gay or be perceived as gay. Yeah, the only people that care about men being gay is honestly, I think is really just men. Yeah, they have to say pause all the time. Like, bro, it's actually our fantasy to be gay. Yeah, because women look way better than men. Women are way more attractive than men. It's like, okay, if it's so bad for women to be gay and be attracted to women, then why are you attracted to women? You're going to shame us for being attracted to the same thing. What does that say about you? Stupid. Men will sit here and be attracted to women and then try to make it as a dig that women are also attracted to women. Are you dumb? Are you slow? I like women, and that's weird that you like women too. Like, what? You sound like that's a slow argument. That's a very, very slow argument. Like we all understand it on the opposite side. Like, you have gay men that are making think pieces about gay men. Like, even gay men are having a problem with men. So the reverse definitely makes sense. Mhm. God made men first, women came after. Oh, so your father birthed you? That's crazy. That is crazy. You must be super small. You must be super small coming out of your father's pee hole. Like, how are you even able to type? That's super crazy. Where are like the male birthing centers at? Like, I've like, where is this, like, secret or something? Like how long are men pregnant for? Are y'all pregnant for like 14 months, or how long does male pregnancy last? Like, do y'all get postpartum depression? Like, is that what's happening now? So, like, when y'all are like commenting, like in the chat, like, does that mean that y'all are having postpartum depression? Or like when y'all are like pew pewing up schools and like super violent, like, does that is that like the postpartum depression period, or like what's that? I'm assuming that's what all of that is. It must be the postpartum depression. It like when men are getting like morning wood in the morning, does that like signal to everybody that they're pregnant too? Like, I'm guessing that's what that means. Like, oh, like my woody, I have a woody, I'm pregnant. Oh my God. I just don't understand why he can't tell me how long the male pregnancy lasts. Like, because I'm agreeing with him. I'm agreeing with him. He's saying that women came from men first. So, I'm just really curious, like like I'm really really curious, like where, like how long is the male birth? Like how long are y'all pregnant for? Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. Seems a little weird. I vow to never lie about their performance. Do better. You said women just be talking. I'm not talking, I'm agreeing with you. You said that women come from men. And so I'm asking you, since we come from men, are y'all pregnant for? Since we come from y'all and y'all birthed us, and every single person alive came from a man, since y'all are God, how long are y'all pregnant for? Do y'all have like the cravings, and do y'all have like morning sickness and stuff like that? Like, I don't understand why you won't answer my question. Like I don't understand why you won't answer me. Like, you said yourself that women come from men, and you still won't answer my question. Like, clearly I'm living in an alternate universe. Clearly I don't know what I'm talking about, and so I'm here trying to like gain knowledge, and like I'm genuinely asking for you to help me, and like you won't help me. Like you won't give me the knowledge that I need. Like, I'm just some dumb bimbo girl who doesn't know what she's talking about. And I'm asking you to like do the godly thing and like rescue me and help me and explain me and like lead me back to Babylon. Like, you said I came out of a man, and so I'm trying to get led back to a man. So I'm just like genuinely asking you, like, I really want you to tell me like how this whole thing happened. Like, I'm really curious to know the birthing process with a man. Like, I'm genuinely being nice about it. And the girlfriend that you have, like, are you ready to prepare for you being pregnant? Like, when y'all decide to have children, like, are you preparing for the pregnancy? Like, how do you feel about, like morning sickness? How do you feel about, hyperemesis? Um, like how do you feel about all of these things, since like you're going to be the one that like when y'all have a child, like it's going to be coming out of you. Like, how do you feel about that? How do you feel like that you're going to be the creator of life, and that you're going to be the one giving birth? Like, I'm so excited for y'all. And don't forget to take your prenatal vitamins. Don't forget to take your prenatal vitamins. Don't forget to go see your OB-GYN. Like, make sure like you stay up on your ultrasounds. He said that he's gonna drop his girlfriend. He said that he's gonna drop his girlfriend once he's done with her. So you're gonna sign up to be a single mom? You're gonna become a single mom? You're gonna become a single dad by choice? You're so brave. You're so brave. Like, oh my God, you're literally gonna drop your girlfriend and become a single dad? That's crazy. Wow. Powerful. Powerful. No, according to it's in his name. He said the real deal, real spill. So he obviously is a prophet. He's obviously the real deal, y'all. He is telling us the truth. He is leading us back to Babylon. So I'm just waiting for him to explain, and he will not explain. He refuses to tell me how the process works. He refuses to tell me how the male birth operates. And I'm just really curious to know how it operates. Like, I don't feel like I'm asking a bad question. He's the one that said it. He's the one that said, "Oh, like, are you gonna do a water birth? Are you gonna do a water birth? Are you gonna give birth in a hospital? Are you gonna get a doula? Like, how is that all gonna work? Like, how are you gonna choose to give birth? I think you should get a doula. Or is God gonna help you? Like, is God gonna be the one to deliver the child for you? Like, how does that work? See, if a man squats down while giving birth, the baby may shoot into the air. So I don't even know how that works. And I guess these men give birth to those little water I guess they give birth to those little water creatures. Y'all remember those little toys, those little water creature toys that you put in water and it's real small, and you put it in water and then it expands real big? That must be the process when the men, like, give birth. Like, it must come out like a small little water creature, and then it must get, like, super, super big. Alright, he over here venting about getting cheated on. He's banned now. Ain't nobody trying to hear about getting cheated on. Like, that took a super crazy turn. Like, how do we go from, like, men giving birth to freaking him talking about his girlfriend cheating on him? Like, I don't understand where any of that came from. He said she cheated on her boyfriend for him. Oh, so he was a side dude. He's a proud side dude. This is how you know that men know nothing about women. Men know nothing about women because he gave that information thinking that women would be impressed. He literally gave that information thinking that women would be impressed over the fact that he's a side dude. Like, only another man is going to be impressed by that, sir. Like, he had to take her because she's the only one who looked at him. And the thing about it is that whenever a man, like, it's not by accident, okay? I don't believe that it's by accident that women cheat with another guy, because the other guy is always going to make himself available, and men know to be the rebound through vulnerability. So they'll be men will be waiting to lend an ear about your relationship issues, because y'all heard the quote y'all heard the quote. What is it? A shoulder to cry on, a ding-a-ling to ride on. Yeah, men that can't get access to women naturally, they're always waiting for a woman on the rebound. They're always, I call it vulnerable punani. They're waiting to get access to some vulnerable punani because they're not able to go into the wild and get a woman naturally. And so they have to go find a woman that's in a relationship, and then the relationship is going bad, and he's crossing his fingers, like waiting for the relationship to go bad. And men say this. Men literally say this. Is your man treating you right? Is your man treating you right, girl? He know how to work with all of that. He know what he doing, right? He treating you good. Yeah, he treating you good. Okay. Well, if he don't treat you good no more, just come over here. Come over here and I'll take care of you. I'm gonna be waiting. I know he gonna fuck up. They be over here talking about how they're waiting for the man to screw up in the relationship. That way they can get access to you. We can't be friends. Your man don't let you get friends. Hold on. Like men are literally only in competition with one another when it comes to them having access to a woman. Why can't y'all be in competition with each other when it comes to income earnings? Right. If you were the side dude, what would make you think that she isn't going to be cheating on you once y'all are in the relationship with each other? Like, be so for real. Be so for real. Like, the new guy I'm seeing wants me to cook for him. I want to block him. Girl, block him. Send him the link to a chef that does in-house cooking, or send him the link to the food pantry and then block him. Who even asks someone to cook for them? That ish is weird. Like, ugh, like that turns me off. Like, there was one guy, this model, attractive guy. When I lived in New York City, I used to go out to eat a lot. Like, I used to go out to eat a lot, because anyone that's went to New York City or lived in New York City, you know how good the food is. You know how good the food is there. And I was outside eating, chow. So I would post food often. And so this guy, this model that followed me, he was like, "You're always eating out. Do you know how to cook?" And I said, "I do know how to cook, but I don't know how to cook for men, because that's the only reason why you would be asking me that." That's the only he said, "Oh, well, damn. Yeah, exactly. I'm not fucking stupid. I'm privy to the questions men be asking. I know y'all are asking. I know y'all aren't asking a question because you're actually curious about me as a person. You're curious to know the information to see how it could serve you because, bitch, I'm not cooking for you. Ain't no need for you to ask me any of that. Okay. Like, oh my God. They be getting on my nerves. They be getting on my nerves. At least the other guy wasn't as dusty. But that other one, he was dusty as hell. Like it's levels to the dust. There's levels to the dust. That asbestos level dust, I kicked them out of here immediately. That asbestos level dust, be out of here. The dusty ones are only confident because they're behind a freaking keyboard. They're behind a freaking keyboard, and so their confident instantly boosts. Silly little rabbits. Silly little rabbits these men can be sometimes. I'm just hollering because that guy never answered my question. He's over here. As soon as a man starts quoting the Bible, I know something's wrong with him. I know something's wrong with him. As soon as you start quoting the Bible, as soon as you start quoting the Bible and you're over here talking about, um, they're talking about a rib and a woman came from a man's rib and all this stuff. Chow. You are probably too nice. That's why he had the audacity to ask the question. Yeah, this is what it's called being a smartass. That's what it's called. It's called being a smartass. You don't react. You just agree with what they're saying, even though you know it makes no sense. And you play dumb, and then you ask them to explain what they're telling you. You saw he was ignoring me, right? You saw that he was ignoring me, right? Because he realized, like, oh shit, I just got outsmarted. He figured I was going to go back and forth with him, and I agreed with him. I weaponized his point against him. Like you're not going to sit here and be able to use the Bible when it's convenient for you, and then not be able to explain what the fuck it is that you're talking about. That's why he had to go back and forth with people in the chat and not respond to me. I broke up with my ex 20 years ago and claims I'll be cursed by God for leaving him. And I would have said, and you'll be cursed by a witch if I stay. That's what I would have said. I would have said, I'll be cursed for 20 years I'll be cursed by leaving you, and you'll be cursed by a witch if I stay. I'm doing you a favor, sir. And guess what? And guess what? One thing about men, just like any other human, men only want the attention that they're comfortable with. He wasn't very comfortable with that attention. He wasn't very comfortable with that attention, as you see. When you don't take them serious, you win. Exactly. Exactly. You don't take them serious. You go along with whatever delusion it is that they say and just play stupid. And guess what? They're never going to ask you that again because now you've annoyed them. Now you've annoyed. My favorite thing is annoying a man. I love annoying a man. I love annoying a man. Like, I'm a man and I'm smart and I'm dominant. Okay, you're so smart. Guess what? I'm going to make you prove how smart you are. I'm going to play like I only have 2 brain cells. You want to sit here and tell me how smart you are? Okay, perfect. How do I cut on the water faucet? You're so much smarter than me. How do I open up the refrigerator? I'm so stupid. Can you open up the refrigerator for me? That's what men do. That's what men do. As soon as women sit here and say, I can handle it, I got it, the men are going to be like, okay, you got it. Okay, you got it. You're better at it. Oh, so if you're the smart one, if you're so this and if you're so that, okay, you got it. Can you talk about the war on women's jobs? The men at work are being super aggressive and putting passwords on documents. Can you and other women leading the chains to talk about it? Girls, save up money and get you a lawyer. Save you the money and get you a lawyer. Men are suing because Uber and Lyft are rolling out a female only occupant driver setting, and men are literally filing a lawsuit. Men literally filed a lawsuit against a woman that is an artist. She made like an art gallery, and it was a woman's only art gallery, and the men sued her, and she countersued, and she ended up winning the lawsuit. Go file a lawsuit. Ha ha ha. I need to work on playing dumb. I got that only child independence ego. Me too. I'm an only child and I'm independent as fuck. But when you understand, when you get off, like, here's the thing, the reason why men are able to manipulate and do the things that they do is because they get off on it, right? It's because they get off on it. You got to get to the point where you start getting off on making men annoyed. You do. You have to start internalizing how frustrated they get and how annoyed they get by you playing into what they want from you too much. Oh, I want a woman. I want a woman that's submissive. Okay, be hyper submissive. Go get me water. Okay. So do you want the water filled this much? Do you want the water filled this much? Do you want the water really cold? Do you want the water lukewarm? Do you want the water with ice cubes? Imagine having to hear that all day. Imagine having to hear that all day. You say that you want a submissive woman. You say you want a submissive woman and she's super submissive. She doesn't cut a fucking brain cell on. She makes you make literally every decision. You literally ask every single thing possible so you don't have to use your brain at all. If you do that, I'll go get my own water. Annoying. That's the point. That's the point. Be so extra and be so over the top that they get annoyed by you. Give them what they want and more. Give them what they want and more. You gonna piss them off every time, and they're never gonna want to ask you again. Exactly. Can you turn me? Yeah. Can you show me how to turn on the oven? Exactly. That man would get sick. I'm afraid if y'all do this hyper submission for a black man, he'll get frustrated and beat you in the process. Child, probably. Can you help me brush my teeth and get dressed? 1,000% malicious compliance. I'm gonna do exactly what you're telling me. I'm gonna do exactly what you're telling me. Yeah, just play dumb. Just play dumb and give them exactly give them exactly what it is that they want. Most of them are just not ever gonna ask you to do it again. Most of them are just never gonna ask you to do it again. And then you won't have to worry about them problems. And then guess what? If he slap you upside the head, still play dumb. If he slap you upside the head, I would play even dumber. I wouldn't even know how to talk at that point. I would be like, mm, uh, uh, uh. That'll give you even more of an excuse. That'll give you even more of an excuse than I have to do anything. I done got a concussion. I can't even talk. I can't even talk. This man done beat my parietal lobe. He done even beat my parietal lobe into submission. I can't do anything. Like up there goes the brain damage now. There goes the brain damage. Did y'all see the video of the pastor talking about the woman calling churches with the video in the back, the sound in the background being of a baby crying because she wanted to see how helpful these churches were, and a lot of these churches was like, fuck you and your baby, I'm not helping you. And that black pastor with this big old bald spot, his his mature spot from sitting in the sun all day, he was like, that's a witch. He was like, that's a witch. Like, sir, out before that woman exposed herself, as far as anyone was concerned, that was still a woman with a baby that did not have any formula to feed her baby. And that's what you're considering a witch. That's why I'm like, submission my ass. Submission my ass. If you blink 3 times in a row, that'll be enough for them to consider you being a witch. Submit my ass. If they want to burn you at the stake, they gonna burn you at the stake no matter how much you submit to them. So what's the point? You might as well talk all your shit and get bumped upside the head and die with your dignity. Mm-hmm. She said that baby crying in the background made me cut the video off. I don't need any kids ever. I'm hollering. That I'll be honest, that is one noise. I don't know what it is. Babies crying is a sound that I am so numb to. I know the parents think I'm crazy whenever I do ultrasounds and they have a baby in the room and the baby's crying. You could tell how uptight the parents get because they're clearly bothered by the baby screaming, and I'm over here scanning and they look at me like I'm a nutcase. And I'm like, listen, the baby is gonna cry. That's what babies do. The baby's gonna cry, and I have a job to get done, and I really don't care about the baby crying because, like, I even asked them, like, you fed the baby right before you got here. You changed the baby pretty recently, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, then it's nothing I could do. The baby is crying because it's in the same room as its mother and doesn't understand why the mother is not in its presence. So it's nothing you can do to get the baby to stop crying at this point. The baby's fed, the baby's changed. It's nothing that I can do about it. And it's nothing you can do about it. We got to get this ultrasound done. A lot of the time, like, especially if the women have to go to the ER, like, these women are the main caretakers. Even when I worked with married women, like, there was one woman that I worked with, she was only PRN as needed. So she maybe worked once or twice a week. Her son was always sick. And guess who had to be the one to leave work to go pick up their sick son between her and her husband? She had to be the one to pick it up. Because whenever you have kids, those are your kids. Ain't nobody finna help you. Ain't nobody finna help you with your own kids, not even your own husband for a lot of women. She said the fever was fevering, but it's all good now. Aw. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not ever cutting on the sound of hearing a baby cry, but the way I look at it, just understanding babies and understanding how they are, like, when they're in a new environment, like, a lot of them are gonna cry. When a lot of them are separated from their mom, like, they're gonna cry. Like, you've done all of the things for their survival. At that point, it's something else that you could do. Like, the babies are gonna cry, and a lot of the times too, when they're continuously crying, it's something that at that moment, it's out of their control. Honestly. Turned your back on God. Just wait until your time is up. Baby, Imma be dance halling in hell. Imma be like, "Bomba clot, bomba clot, hell is hot, hell is hot." Like, when are y'all gonna realize that y'all can't fear monger me? Fear is a low state of being. You only can fear monger weak people. You only can fear monger weak people. You have to be a weak person to allow fear to indoctrinate you. Like, if you let fear get to you, you're weak and you're stupid. My point blank period. Point blank period. Your day is gonna come. Yada yada yada. That's how you know that none of this stuff is real. If you have to fear monger people to get them to feel something, that means that the whole basis of your belief system is stupid. That means that the whole basis of your belief system is fake and not rooted in anything real. Because you'll never have to use fear to try to scare someone. Believe me, you won't even giggle. You're right. I'm gonna be praise dancing. I'm gonna be begging you, get me back into heaven, please. Please. I'm gonna be on my knees begging you, oh my God, please. I should have listened to you. I should have listened to you. Oh my God. Hell is so hot. Oh, oh my God. Hollering. Hollering. Like, imagine having to deal with that. Imagine having to deal with a person like that all day. Imagine having to hear a person that All they live a life in fear of everything, and they were so weak-minded that they were so easily brainwashed and indoctrinated into a belief system that is not rooted in anything in reality. Like, do you know how weak-minded of a person you have to be to allow yourself to get brainwashed that easily? Like, come on. Yeah, and it's so funny because religion, I mean, any person that's telling a woman to be fearful of religion when religion is nothing but oppressing women anyway, they want you to live in hell on earth anyway. That's the whole base. One of the bases of Christianity is for a woman to live in hell on earth. So what difference does it make? Christianity is rooted upon women living hell on earth. So what difference does it make? This is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. People that told all of this stuff, do you not realize that your own religion wants women to live in hell on earth? I mean, this is the same belief system that says that women giving birth was a form of punishment, and they're trying to really make you scared. They're really trying to make you scared with hell after life when the whole purpose is to make you live hell on earth. Ah. Yeah, like duh. Any person that understands religion knows that. Religion doesn't promise anything happily for women. Like duh, any person that's actually been even married, like the church actually is not going to even protect a woman if her husband beats her. Like they actually want the men to put hands on women in Christianity. They actually want the men to harm women in Christianity. That's why I be cracking up, because I'm like, Christianity already wants people to harm one another. So what difference does it make? Oh my god. So there was this woman that I had worked with. She was super super sweet. She grew up a Jehovah's Witness, and as far as I remember, she had to have been in like her mid 40s, and like she was a Jehovah's Witness, and she was even a virgin. But she was so nice. She was so nice. All right, I ban that person, because it's like when there's one religious person, they start bringing a ton of other religious people over here, and it's like, what's wrong with y'all? Yeah, the baby formula video, that was the whole point of the baby formula video, to like expose the church. Like, and this is what's so crazy. They will abominate you for choosing to not have a child that you cannot support. But then if you have the child that you cannot support, they don't want to offer up help. Why are y'all giving churches ties? Because if I know one thing, if I was a church member and the video landed on my page of the church that I attend to, not providing formula for a mother with a child, and I'm paying ties to that church, that would be the end of me believing in Christianity. I know, like, the rigged game of heterosexual relationships, it got the Dusties over here, it got the Christian people over here, like, it got a lot of people over here. And it's like, these people aren't pro-life, these people are pro-control. That's what it is. They're not pro-life, they're pro-control. They want to be able to have control over what other people are doing, is what it really is. Because if it was pro-life, you would be helping in the continuation of keeping the life alive, not just giving birth. Because that's not pro-life if you're not willing to help the baby stay alive. It's no more pro-life than you just yeeting the baby. If you're not gonna help support keeping the baby alive, that's how you know that they're not pro-life. Mhm. I seen one that was like a black church. I seen one that was a Protestant church that helped somebody, but I mean, it wasn't point blank period, it wasn't very many. Cause oh my God, I remember when I was younger and they would pass the collection plate around. I remember they would pass the collection plate around and I was a young kid. I'm like, I don't got it. I'm never gonna have it. Okay. I was born selfish. I was born selfish, child. Yeah, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I was a young girl and I would get money from like, babysitting and allowance and stuff like that. And I was like, child, I'm not trying to give these people my money. Oh, and I can only imagine if you become real cool with people in the congregation and they know what you do for a living, they know what car you drive, they know your income. Child, then people in the church would be side eyeing me because I would be giving them $2 every day, no matter how much money I was making. I could be making $200,000 a year. The church is getting $2 out of me. They're gonna be like, they would, Sister Sovereign. Wait, let me put on my pastor voice. Hold on. Sister Sovereign, Sister Sovereign, I need you to come over here for a little bit, Sister Sovereign. Now, Sister Sovereign, we've been noticing, the contribution to the congregation is just it's not matching. You know what I'm saying? You're a successful woman. You out there. I see you with the Mercedes, and you got a good job. You're doing real good, and so we're expecting more from you, Sister Sovereign. We need you to help the Lord Jesus. We want to see you contribute a little bit more to Jesus Christ in the congregation. I got a voice for everything. I got a male voice for literally everything. You said, "Nah, sister sovereign." Yeah. Like, no. No, I was always told when I get paid, I gotta pay myself first. Okay? I gotta pay myself first. The church is getting $2. Okay? Church is getting $2 for me. Point blank period. I don't care if I'm a millionaire. If I were to go to church, church is getting $2. Yeah, they be peering their eyes over at the collection plate. I be seeing what they be doing. Queen, do you think these people in church be speaking in tongues for real to God, or you think they just be gibberish? I always thought it was gibberish. I always thought the speaking in tongues thing was just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, yeah. It used see, I grew up in a Catholic. I grew up being raised Catholic, so like I didn't have to really see that. But like whenever there would be like programs and stuff like that that you would watch on TV, it normally is Christian programs that you see. And so, especially if it's like a black pastor, you see them doing all of that stuff. And I was like, I was like, that's, I don't know. I don't know. Like they will have those things of the people like that they touch your forehead and they're like, "Stop." Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, please remove. They got their hand up against your forehead. Lord Jesus, please remove. I rebuke. Remove the addiction and the pain and the suffering and then the. I'm like, what the freak is going on? I remember watching that. I remember watching that as like a young girl, and I was like, what is going on? Like, nobody is going to touch my forehead, and that's going to happen. Okay, that's not going to happen. So when I would see that on TV, I was like, what the? I'm sometimes wondering if you have religious trauma. Imagine you were raised proper Catholic and then understand it's a scam, still can't get over all these years. Child, I never believed it. I literally never believed it. Like, never. Like, I never conformed to anything. I didn't even get baptized. I didn't even get baptized. And my mom didn't really care. My mom didn't even care. And I had told her, I was like, I don't care about getting baptized. And my mom didn't care about me getting baptized. I didn't care about any of that stuff. I'm like, well, guess I won't be getting my wafers and my cranberry juice. Guess I won't be getting my bread and blood of Jesus. And the whole baptism thing was weird to me too. Like I remember when I was young, I'm like, why can't I do it why can't I baptize myself in the bathtub? Like I would just pretend in the bathtub, like I would stand in the bathtub. I just dump my head. I just would dump my head in the water and be like, I'm baptized. Like I was like, what is some water? I was like, what is some water gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, what the heck is some water gonna do? Like, I'm sorry. Like, none of that stuff made sense to me. Okay, none of that stuff made sense to me at all whatsoever. It all seemed it just didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, I got water at home in my bathtub. I could just baptize myself. Like, I don't know. And I remember because so like the preschool that I went to, it actually was like a Christian preschool that I had went to. And I couldn't stand any of that stuff either. Like, thankfully, it wasn't crazy, crazy, like indoctrinating or anything like that. Um, but yeah, like, I don't know, none of that stuff. In my head, I just was like, why can't I do this at home? Like, why do I have to get baptized for me to get a Ritz cracker and some cranberry juice? Like, we got Ritz crackers and cranberry juice at home. Like, this isn't the real blood. This is like in my like I think I just already had an understanding of symbolism. That's really what I think it was. I think I just already had a understanding of symbolism, and so in my brain, I'm like, okay, why do I have to do it under these premises for it to be counted as something? Like, can't I just get them same wafers and that juice at home? Like, can't I just make my own holy water at home and do it myself? Like, why do I have to do it like here in front of everybody? And then that was another thing too. Oh, that felt like such a humiliation ritual when you're new at a church. When you're new at a church and they want to put all of the new people on the spot. Oh my God. And they want to make you like walk up like to the front of like the church. Chow. Oh, and that was another thing too. So my ex-boyfriend, one of my ex-boyfriends, so his best friend's father is actually a pastor. And my ex-boyfriend at the time used to be like the technical coordinator for the church. So I would have to go to church. I would end up having to go to church with him for like the technical, like for him to be the technical coordinator. And so I would have to sit through these sermons. I would have to sit through these sermons that like, and I would have to fucking pretend. I would just have to fucking pretend that like I thankfully though the pastor was cool. Like he wasn't one of those like peddling pastors. Like he actually kept it real. Like do y'all remember back in like 20? Do y'all remember back in like 2019 or 2020 when that pastor got caught eating coochie? Some woman he recorded, he was eating her coochie and it got leaked over the place. Y'all, the pastor was even talking about that. Like the pastor was cool as hell. Like the pastor was super, super cool. I had to try so hard to stop myself from laughing when he did that sermon talking about, yes, he literally talked about that at the sermon about that pastor getting caught, getting recorded, eating coochie. I was like, this church ain't that bad. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I would be like, okay, I don't agree with all of that stuff. But he was cool. Like he was cool. He was cool. I feel like he understood the line between like having a God and like understanding that there is a source greater than you, outside of you, and then also acknowledging the bullshit that like comes along with these things too. Like I kind of felt like he was one of those pastors that like he would call out the bullshit. Okay, he wouldn't just sit here and pretend that like everything in the faith is just like perfect and grand and superior. Like I feel like he would call out the hypocrisy. Oh, girl, I wasn't baptized and I wasn't allowed to get the bread and blood either. And girl, I did not care. I didn't care at all. I was like, okay, cool. One less thing I got to do. I was like, oh, well, one less thing I got to do. Ain't gotta worry about getting up and having everyone see me get this like when I tell y'all, like, I just genuinely did not care about any of that stuff. I didn't care about any of that stuff. I was in my own world. I'm like, what are we eating after this? What are we eating after the service is done? Like, what are we doing? What's next? I don't know. Something just had already told me, like, child, I don't know. I don't know. I'm actually about to get off of here myself anyway. I am. I'm about to get off of here myself anyway. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Um, Great live stream today. Super fun. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all next time. I love y'all. Bye.